In February of 2013, a Canadian woman was reported missing while on a vacation to Los Angeles, California. She was staying at the Cecil Hotel, which has been known to have some very strange things happen to its guests. In the days before her disappearance, she was acting incredibly strange. And that didn't get much better when, after her disappearance, security camera footage was released, showing Elisa trying to hide from someone or something in the hotel elevator. This is the story of the disturbing disappearance of Elisa Lam. Elisa Lam was born on April 30th, 1991 in Vancouver, British Columbia. Elisa was the daughter of 2 immigrants from Hong Kong and had a sister named Sarah. She lived a pretty private early life, but in mid-2010, at around 19 to 20 years old, she began a blog on the site Blogspot, naming it Ether Fields, which is a card game or something. She began to post pictures of models and, more importantly, stories from her life. Her blogspot is actually still around, and here's a post from it. Last Sunday night and this Sunday night were polar opposite. I feel so lucky that I met such a wonderful, awesome guy. He makes what pain and anger I felt meaningless. He understands my humor and has such beautiful, intelligent eyes. What broken heart? Why would I ever think of myself? What disappointment with those I trust most. This post seems like something that your average 20-year-old blogger in 2010 would say, but it also reveals a deeper issue Elisa had been struggling with. She was bipolar and struggling with depression. By early 2010, her mental issues had caused her to drop some of her classes, leading to her feeling even more aimless in life. She had been studying at the University of British Columbia, but was feeling unable to continue school. You're always haunted by the idea you're wasting your life, she posted, quoting a novelist named Chuck that name. After about 2 years of blogging on Blogspot, Elisa announced that she was switching to Tumblr, calling her new blog Nouvelle Nouveau, meaning literally new, male and female. I believe it's French, and yeah, they have gender for words. Not like new female, new male, just the female and male version of new. If you speak a language other than English, some of them do that. In early 2013, Elisa didn't re-register for her classes, deciding to take a vacation to California, which would be the last trip she ever took. Beginning her trip in mid-January of 2013, Elisa traveled across the state of California using Amtrak, as well as California's bus system. On the 26th, she arrived in Los Angeles. She stayed at the Cecil Hotel near what is known as Skid Row. We need to talk about the Cecil Hotel because it has quite a reputation. In 1931, a man took capsules of poison there of his own volition, if you're wondering. This began a series of people doing stuff similar to what he did, if you catch my drift. YouTube doesn't like when I say the word for that, you know, the not being alive anymore and you were the one that made yourself not live. Yeah, this that, okay? But in 1964, a woman telephone operator named Pigeon Goldie Osgood was found dead in her room at the Cecil. She had been stabbed and raped. Jacques B. Ellinger was initially charged with her murder. The reason for that was he was found covered in blood walking around next to the hotel, but he was later cleared of any guilt, and the case was never solved. This video isn't about that case, so I haven't really researched into that one too much, but I think that guy might have killed her, or he was just covered in blood and walking around next to the hotel. I don't know, maybe. A serial killer named Richard Ramirez also stayed at the Cecil, a man later given a sentence of 19 life sentences in prison for killing at least 15 people. So yeah, weird people and weird things happen at this hotel, but back to Elisa. She stayed in a shared room on the 5th floor of the hotel, but immediately began to act very strange. She would leave notes in the room saying, "Go home" and "Go away," which the manager of the hotel explained were for her roommates. Although with the circumstances we're about to get into, it could have been for someone or something else. She would also lock the door of her room and not let the roommates in. This led to the hotel staff removing her from her room and giving her a room to herself, which may have been a huge mistake. Side note, while she was in Los Angeles, Elisa actually went to a live recording of Conan, but was removed due to disruptive behavior. Make of that as you will, I just thought it would be worth mentioning. On January 31st, Elisa was set to leave Los Angeles for Santa Cruz. Her parents had been checking in on her daily over the phone, but Elisa didn't leave for Santa Cruz, and she didn't check in with her parents either. Her parents immediately called the Los Angeles Police Department and came down from Canada themselves to help search for her. What was strange was that nobody remembered seeing Elisa over the past couple of days. A nearby bookstore owner did remember seeing her, but only before her disappearance and had no idea if she was going somewhere. Elisa had actually been at the bookstore to buy gifts for her family, which made it seem unlikely that she would have just run away from them right after. However, about a week later, after they searched the hotel and found no leads, the LAPD resorted to putting up flyers with Elisa's photo around the area and posting pictures online. This did give the case some publicity, but still resulted in absolutely zero leads. Another week later, though, the LAPD released a bombshell to the public. It was a video of Elisa right before her disappearance. Let's take a look at the video. Elisa walks into an elevator from a hallway pretty nonchalantly. She leans down and hits what looks like 4 or 5 buttons on the elevator, which is obviously not normal. You normally just hit a single one. And what's stranger is that the elevator does not start to move. We'll get into that at the end of the video. She then stands still in the back right corner of the elevator for a few moments, then slowly walks forward toward the hallway. She very quickly leans forward and checks both sides of the hallway, then steps back into the elevator. She then backs up, stands in the center of the elevator, then steps into the right-hand corner of the elevator, apparently hiding from something. She moves again to be more hidden in the corner, most obscured by the elevator from the hallway. After a few moments, she quietly walks towards the elevator door again and peers towards the right side of the hallway for a moment, then the left. She steps out of the elevator, still looking to the left, then jumps from maybe a loud noise. There's no audio, so we don't know, but she steps to the left and then backs up into the elevator. Then she walks out again and starts heading left towards where she apparently saw or heard something. She walks back into the frame and looks to have put her hands to her head in what I think might be covering her ears. Again, I'm theorizing personally that she might have heard something loud, but there isn't audio. She walks back into the elevator and begins frantically pushing buttons, clearly distraught that the elevator has not moved. She then walks out of the elevator towards the left again, then touches her shoulder, maybe in pain, and begins moving her arms frantically and seemingly cracking her knuckles. Suddenly, she puts her hands down again, then from what I can tell, she covers her ears once more and quickly walks out of the frame. She does not return, and for the remainder of the security footage, the elevator door closes, moves down to another floor, which you can tell because the lighting is different. Then it goes to a third floor, which has red walls. How do we know the elevator went down? You can apparently see that the 14th floor light goes out right after she hits it, meaning she was on the 14th and highest floor of the hotel. Now, obviously, this video led to a huge amount of publicity for the case when it was released because it's so strange, but still, nothing changed. There were no leads and nobody knew where Elisa could have gone. How could she have disappeared so completely? How had she not been identified somewhere after the case had gone public? Was she even still in Los Angeles? Maybe she had left the country or been kidnapped. Now, what nobody expected was to find Elisa still at the hotel, dead in the strangest place imaginable. Beginning in mid-February of 2013, guests at the Cecil Hotel began to complain of reduced water pressure from faucets and water that was murky and tasted strange. Very gross information warning, just so you know. Alright, so maintenance staff unlocked the door to the roof of the hotel, pulled the lid off of the hotel's water tanks, and found the body of Elisa Lam in one of them. Yeah, sorry about that. Somehow she had taken all of her belongings, gone to the hotel elevator, exited the elevator after the security camera video, made it up past a locked door or up a fire escape which has an alarm onto the roof of the hotel, and not been alive anymore. And also, for some reason, she had no clothes on. So how did she get past the door? How did she make it into the water tank and close it behind her? Had someone else done this to her or something? What the f happened to Elisa? As I said before, Elisa was struggling with mental illness. While her parents claimed that she had never tried to, not be living, and apparently she had never even thought about it, Elisa's blog clearly says otherwise. This, along with her bipolar diagnosis, has led many people to conclude Elisa's death was an unfortunate accident. We don't see anyone or anything in the video. And while she had a large list of medications to help her with her mental illness, Elisa had been known to stop taking them for periods of time that would lead to the possibility of seeing things that weren't there. Elisa's roommates at the Cecil Hotel had also complained about her erratic behavior days before she disappeared. And when police discovered her belongings, her medications appeared unused. I would love to conclude that this was just a sad accident, but there are a few things that don't sit well with me about this. How did she get past the locked door to the roof or make it up the fire escape ladder without triggering the alarm and having all of her stuff with her at that time? And then she found a way into a water tank, and why would she do that? Then she drowned and for some reason didn't have clothes on. This leads to the second theory many people have about this, which is foul play. Could this have been a murder case? Maybe someone at the hotel was tired of her behavior and had the keys and knowledge of the hotel to dispose of her. Was Elisa hiding from a hotel staff member in the elevator? This sounds like a good theory until you realize that there was absolutely zero evidence and there were no suspects to support this theory. Elisa wasn't seen with anyone at the hotel. The police couldn't find anything to suggest foul play. The final theory is the theory that something supernatural happened. The video doesn't show anything else for Elisa to be afraid of, but some people think whatever it was wouldn't show up on a camera. And also, why didn't the elevator start moving again? Well, the answer is in this YouTube comment from 3 years ago that told me the fallen angels, the real aliens in parentheses, that live amongst us, oh that's funny, here on Earth can manipulate any electronic component. Of course, but in reality, she pressed that button on the elevator that stops it. You know, the button that you press and it keeps the doors open. There is a legend of some sort of ritual in South Korea you can do in an elevator that will take you to another dimension, but she left the elevator after, so I don't believe that. But I also don't believe it for obvious reasons. I don't think elevators can take you to a different dimension, but maybe they can. But yeah, my channel is tiny, and if you want to subscribe for more videos just like this one, smash that subscribe button. But yeah, see you guys.